I'm Alex Morash, and let's clear up the USA View. 1 year later, 988 LGBTQ plus Youth Crisis Line remains offline despite congressional funding. A year after the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline ended its specialized services for LGBTQ plus youth, the hotline has yet to restore the dedicated Option 3 service despite Congress approving its reinstatement. The specialized line shut down after federal funding expired. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration says it is working to restore LGBTQ plus youth services by the end of the year, although that timeline is not guaranteed. Lawmakers from both parties are urging the Trump administration to act sooner. The delay comes as LGBTQ plus youth continue to face significantly higher rates of depression and suicide risk than their peers. During its 3 years of operation, more than 1.5 million people use the specialized 988 service. The Trevor Project, which handled roughly half of all LGBTQ plus 988 contacts before the service ended, says it has not been included in rebuilding the program. The organization has applied to participate in the restored service, but has not received confirmation of its role. I'll be honest, this is in some ways a very terrifying report. Specifically, the Trevor Project hasn't been included, and the fact that the Trump administration is slow walking this. I'll be honest, I'm a little pleasantly surprised that the Trump administration just isn't straight out refusing to do it. They're just trying to come up with excuses not to do it. Like, that's better than what we've seen with other programs. But at the same time, like, if they're not talking to Trevor Project now, it's deliberately not including them most likely. And I fear that they're going to have some sort of right-wing crazy organization, some sort of like weird zealots like the Alliance Defending Freedom, be the ones talking to those kids. And that would just be one of the most horrific outcomes you could think of.
Well, I mean, yes and no, because, and I want people to hear this. Yes, the Option 3 is gone. However, if you are LGBT, you can still use 988. You can, and you should. Please. Yes, what we feel is a protection was there. There was specialized people who were there to answer your call, but the people who also answer 988 are still people who can help you. So I don't want people to think that because the Option 3 is gone, that you can't use the number. You can also use numbers like 211, especially locally here and other places around the country. You can call the Trevor Project directly, 1-800, and if you don't feel like calling somebody, Trevor Project also takes online requests and handwritten letters still as well. So I do implore people to, yes, we need to get the specialized services back, but the service is still there and it is still usable. And I don't want somebody to hear this and think that they can't call.
Thank you, Rex.
Well, and it's appalling. You look at the priorities of the current administration, holding up funding for something as sensitive as this versus tearing down the East Wing of the White House. I mean, it just continues rolling in the wrong direction.
And thank you for mentioning that the Trevor Project still takes calls. Because, I'm a little biased there. I just find the Trevor Project is the best place to go to for things. I know that there are other options out there. And as someone who does not know anything about counseling, I at least know this. Don't talk to AI. Talk to someone that knows what they're doing.
Absolutely. Yes. Talk to somebody. And that's why I implore people to go out. And I'm just going to plug myself. If you need some sort of resources, you can go to lanterafl.org and we have a resources page. You can go to the mental health initiatives online. They have resources pages. Like I said, call 911, 211, 988. All three of those work. Well, there is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.